Hi.
Hi.
Must
Ben.
be Ron and Bill.
Man of the hour.
Nice to meet you, Ben.
Nice to meet you.
Ron was 22 years old when he was interviewed by investigators from Project Blue Book.
There was smoke going across the horizon, and then the object crashed in the Kecksburg area.
Bill Weaver was 19 at the time. After hearing reports of the crash on the radio, he rushed out to the site where he saw an eerie blue light emanating from the woods.
Thank you so much for meeting me here. I've heard a lot about how you can fill in the blanks of what happened this night.
By the time I got out to Kecksburg, the military was already here. They had the roads blocked, and everybody thought it was, an airplane or something that crashed in the area. We could just look down in the hole and see, guys running back and forth towards the site.
Where were you and how did it all start for you?
I was just out cruising. There's people standing alongside the road. I looked down in there and I could see where something had just plowed into the ground. And there was a light emanating off of that object. The military's all over the place. State police is all over the place. At this point, too, there's a big truck pulls in. And there's 4 guys gets out of this truck with a box. But they were wearing moon suits. And they carried that thing down in to the woods, to that object.
Sir, you're gonna have to leave.
And the men in the dark suits seemed to have the power over everybody. Now, my father was a foreman on state highways, and he was always out checking the roads. And he watched them haul that thing out of here. But he said it was covered with a tarp.
Trailer truck with a tarp over it.
Yes.
If they weren't expecting or had a plan for this sort of thing, how does a box truck show up with 4 military guys in a crate? How does that make you feel, regardless of what this was? That the official story is, we didn't recover anything.
For years, we've been told that the military wasn't there. Well, that's a falsity. Whatever branch they were there.
What do you tell people who believe that official story and they say, no, the reports that came out and everything says military were in there, so you guys are, in essence, lying? What do you tell those people?
Somebody's not going to tell me that it didn't happen because I was there. It landed in our little town, okay, so something happened.
What you haven't really told me is what you think it is.
I don't know if it's something out of this world or not. Makes me wonder. They could be something alien. Our government knows. They won't tell us. Give us those reports. Nothing blacked out on them. Tell us what that was.
That's what all of us want,
Yeah.
but I don't know that that's ever going to happen.
Well, then it's time to hunt for proof ourselves. Ron, Jenny Zeidman says that you know where the UFO crashed.
If one of these objects crashed, there would be debris on site.
I would love to go to the crash site. Do you remember how to get to that location?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Ron and Bill's description of the events of December 9th, 1965 leave little doubt as to what happened in the woods that fateful night. Now, Ben will attempt to recover physical evidence from the crash site and validate their claims.
If we can pinpoint the exact location where this happened, I plan on doing a basic field survey. So metal detecting, Geiger counters, looking for any effect this object may have had on the vegetation, anything that looks out of place. And it's really not implausible that we would find that after all these years. So Stan Gordon, the local researcher, told me that the fireball came from this direction, comes over the town basically, comes to this point and takes a very drastic turn in the other direction before it settles into the ravine. Most of the witnesses watched the recovery effort from this position. I'm excited to get down in there.
Ron Struble will lead Ben down to the crash site.
Ron, do you want to lead me down here? I imagine it would be quite a recovery effort. Yeah, it's getting pretty thick in here.
You see that clearing down there? That's where we're going.
Okay.
We are right in the location, right here. It was in here.
In here?
Yeah.
Like right where I'm standing. It's almost just like I pictured it. You know, I had in my mind that night what was going on, and I pictured military men with searchlights and a big excavation and maybe a little bit of fear as they're trying to hurry and scoop this thing up and take it out. We could very well be standing on the exact place where a UFO crashed in 1965. What I'm really interested in is some of these treetops that seem to be kind of sheared off at the top, similar to what the witnesses described happened, that some of the trees were cut off as the object came through and kind of crashed in here.
And from the air, one can almost make out an actual crash site.
So what I'm thinking is I'm going to do a baseline EMF reading, and then I'd like to start with a sweep of the general area using the metal detector. We've also got ground penetrating radar. Charles should be here in a minute, and he's got a kind of an all-terrain ground penetrating radar that we can go over the area and look for anything. So could you explain to me exactly how this works and what we're going to be doing?
Well, you're going to be scanning the area, emits its signal down into the ground, pops back up on the screen. It could go from 6 inches to 60, 70 feet.
Okay.
Ben, I think I got something.